A time of crisis, a time of patience, a time of hope, my grandma Gail Carley lived through. When interviewing my grandma, I discovered that she lived through World War II. World War II, also known as the Second World War, was a global war that lasted from 1939 to 1945. It involved the vast majority of the world's countries, including all the great powers, forming two opposing military alliances, the Allies and the Axis. I chose my grandma to interview because she is very interesting, has a lot to talk about, and is very lonely during these hard times right now with Corona. And not being able to see anyone right now, she's having a very difficult time. So talking to her on the phone and asking her questions about her childhood brings joy to her. I was also most curious to learn about where my grandma grew up and what it was like growing up in a chaotic household. My grandma lived with her grandfather, her aunt, her mom, her dad, and her 3 siblings, Gary, Gloria, and Gregory. She mentioned how there was one bathroom for 8 people, and this really showed how close quarters it was living there. Understanding this really helped relate to what was happening in the world at that time as well. With World War II going on, the chaos was raised even more. I remember my grandma telling me when I was younger how my great-grandma had a job in the electrical business during World War II. My great-grandmother was always a stay-at-home mom up until the war, and this was a great change for her family and in the world. This impacted my understanding of the topic because it gave me perspective on life and how it really is important to know what people are going through. Overall, my grandma had a very interesting life. Her parents worked very hard to give her all the resources she needed to succeed in life, even through the tough times. They always gave back to others, and so did my grandma. I hope to also pass this down. My grandma used to tell me how her dad would leave work since he worked at the bank every day and would give a quarter to those in need. And that is what I hope to accomplish for my kids one day. I hope to make a difference in the world, in my family, and in my community. It is important to understand what people are going through and work hard to help your community and support your family. I'm trying to do this today through my foundation I created called the MGH Foundation. Every year around Christmas time, me and a small group of volunteers gather to pack 200 Christmas meals to those in need in the Chicago Housing Authority. This is what my grandma helped me understand, and I hope everyone can understand this too.
Living with us, and then my aunt came to live with us. It was a tiny little house with one bathroom